Stop using Shanna as desperation fodder and start wrecking face with her. Greetings and salutations, my name is Deltran, helping you build killing machines that can dominate in PvP and special hero maps, and if you want help earning all the orbs, feathers, sacred coins, and here's the game throws at you every week, consider subscribing. Let's get her digits, and if you take a look here, and if you look at her contemporary, she's definitely like right in the middle on everything. Somebody is better at everything that she can do, which is a little bit disappointing, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of people use her as desperation fodder, but I'll get to that point here in a moment. But otherwise, just to let you know that, you know, her resistance is actually really good, her defense is okay, and she does have good speed, and you would think that would make her a great desperation user, but it doesn't. She's an absolutely terrible desperation user. I can't believe how bad of a desperation user she is. Taking a look at what she swings with Killer Lance Plus, giving her that nice acceleration on the cooldown of Iceberg, so it has an honorary cooldown of 2, and we're using that nice resistance that we got. Otherwise, we have Desperation as a B-slot skill. Once again, she is a terrible Desperation user. I say this because if you get her down to a few hit points, she's not maintaining her kill ratio at all, which is already pretty low. But we'll talk about how to actually use her here in just a moment. But Threat and Speed is there to try to help out? No, that still doesn't even help her, but it is nice that Threat and Speed is there so that she can ensure that she is still doubling on people that you can bait into coming into that range. Let's take a look at the obituaries, and you see here we have some okay scores, but here's the thing is that she's not a good initiator. She's not going to be getting a lot of kills whenever she first goes into a fight. She's going to be recouping that terrible record once combat goes on and once she gets to swing again. So that's pretty much what's going on here. So while look, she is really good at being an aggressive unit, no, she's not going to be giving you the one-hit kills that you want. There are a lot of people here that we are knocking out, and a lot of it makes sense, but take a look at this. Hinoka, Cordelia, Est, Florina, really? We're taking care of all of her contemporaries that are in the sky. This is amazing. Shanna is in a very unique position in that while all of these other units can best her in other ways and in other actions, she's the one that's checking all of them. As far as people we lose to, yeah, we lose to a bunch of people with bows. Surprise! Oh, yeah, and Hector. Don't initiate on Hector. As a matter of fact, don't let him initiate on you, actually. Just stay away from Hector. I think you can manage that. Shanna is a very fun unit to use, and it's such a shame that she's been set as this desperation giver. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not going to just suddenly stop putting desperation on people just because of this, regardless. But she's in a unique position. Shanna is in a very unique position compared to her contemporaries. She can actually follow up as a killing blow to enemies that are damaged and be okay with it. Now, that's not a revelation that if you have somebody with lower hit points, you can easily kill them. So, you know, good job there, right? But here's what I mean by that. A lot of times you have to really plan for what's going on. You have to be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and bait this person, I'm going to get damaged, and then I can use an archer. Or I'm going to go ahead and bait this person, and then I need to put this person here because they have a high resistance, or this person here because they have a high defense. Shanna can tank almost anything once. It's amazing. You really can just throw her out there to finish off somebody and expect her to live as long as she's not being ganged up on by the entire field. Like I said, she could live through about anything once. So that includes multiple attacks in the same turn. And this does make her unique in that she can finish off foes, and the way her stats are set up, it's like almost impossible for you to lose. I've experienced this quite a few times. I've looked at Shanna and I'm like, whatever, she's a scrub. She doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and deal with her when I get to her. And then suddenly I lose to her because she was there to capitalize on my damaged condition. Now, if you want to use Shanna in this way, I think it's a prime candidate for doing that. And the reason for that is because I have a cat on my lap. Aww. See a cat. The reason for that is because she's available in the 3 and 4 star pool. And because she's available in the 3 and 4 star pool, that means you can make a plus 10 merged of her. I need to get super close and very uncomfortable with you so that you understand you need a plus 10 version of her. Because not only is that going to give you a lot more leverage in arena, but she could also counter flying teams very well. As long as they're not all green, and they're not, you can easily counter a flying team with Shanna. You can also very easily get rid of many other targets, and she almost acts in that support role where it's like, oh, I just need a little more oomph, and so she's perfect for that. So go out there, next time you get a Shanna, check her IV, see what you think about her, keep her, don't burn her for desperation. That's a desperate move. Dad joke. Instead, keep her and then use her on the field, and I think you will be surprised as long as you use her right. We're taking a look at some cheap upgrades. Reposition, wonderful assist slot to put on any flyer, let alone this one. And we got Darting Blow 3 there. Once again, it's not going to let you double whenever you're low. And Life and Death 2 will be able to patch that up a little bit. So if you are wanting to be able to double still while you are low on hit points and be able to actually kill things, then you're going to want to go with Life and Death 2. If you're looking for some substitutions, honestly, any breaker skill is probably better than Desperation on poor Shanna, but I recommend Blue Tone Breaker and Sword Breaker because both of those are going to help her patch up some weak spots that she has, and of course, you know, all the Sword Lords are super fast, so you definitely need to have Sword Breaker in that case. Quick Riposte 2 is pretty nice if you want to use her as somebody to retaliate with or to actually get in the mix after the fight has already been started. Quick Riposte is going to be there to give her another kill after she gets initiated on once you put her into danger, and it's actually a really good use for her. But if you're looking for something a little bit different and novel, Seal Attack 3 does great for her. It's amazing how well this skill does for her. I haven't seen a seal skill actually perform well for the unit that's using it like I have with Shanna. So consider it viable. We have two builds here for you, and the first is a Slaying Lance build because anything is better than the Killing Lance. We're going to go ahead and keep Reposition because it's awesome, and we can keep Iceberg, although if you want to switch that out, go right ahead. Swift Sparrow 2, Lance Breaker 3, and Defense Ploy. Yes, Defense Ploy, everybody's golden child. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't have suggested it if it wasn't available on a recent Grand Hero battle unit, but if you don't have Defense Ploy fodder, you can go ahead and substitute Threaten Defense for that instead. Regardless, what this build is going to do is get in there, and it's going to have enough survivability to be able to actually go through a fight and not be vulnerable, so that you can continue to make her do what you were doing just a few moments ago with a more vanilla build. Let's go ahead and take a look at the DPT, and this is pretty good, but you know what? Let's take a look at what happens whenever Defense Ploy is active, because if you keep Defense Ploy on her, it'll be easy to line up a target and be able to make it apply. So there we go. 16 and 4 on initiation, 5 and 12 whenever she's initiated on. Ugh. But otherwise, this is pretty good, and honestly, we're taking care of so many people within the DPT. Now remember, the DPT is a measurement of all of the popular or super potent units that can be happening in your PvP fights. And so whenever you see Shanna handling more than half of them, you have to take that seriously. Not many units can do that. There's even some very popular units that just can't do this. And so it's great to see Shanna be able to measure up like this. Of course, whenever we're initiated on, it's not really that good there. So you can see all I have down here is who we're losing to, and it's not a great list. And then the people we draw against, it's actually decent draws. Those are the kinds of people that you can just sit there and take a hit from after you've already eliminated one of the people from the top. And that's going to give you enough time to move people around if you're a little bit stretched thin because you have to take care of Reinhardt and then you need to come back over and take care of FE or Delphia. Then you actually have that flexibility to be able to do that. This last build here is a Brave Lance build because everybody's going to say, well, you should put Brave Lance on her. I highly recommend against it. Even though the numbers look good, honestly, it's just not as good situationally, especially in the DPT, as what the Slaying Lance build is. But Brave Lance is a lot easier to get than Slaying Lance, so let's go ahead and go through this real quick. I recommend putting in Moonbow as its special just because it's going to be able to help you out whenever you bump into people who are a little little bit faster than you, and you need to be able to just make sure that you can get that initiating often. Otherwise, you could go with Luna if you want to have more potency against matchups that don't matter as much, but you can do that. Within Life and Death is here to be able to give us that speed back that we're losing from Brave Lance. Drag back is actually a really great skill to have on a flyer. I prefer drag back to hit and run simply because I have an imagination and I think I see the enemy that they haven't died, just like clawing at the dirt saying no, no, no. So it gives me a lot of joy. And Threat and Defense 3 is on this build because even if you have Defense Ploy Fodder, it's not going to work out super great because you're already truncating your resistance anyway. Taking a look at the DPT, you're getting similar results without needing Defense Ploy to activate, but you know what, it leaves you open a lot more. You're dying twice as hard as you were before, so that's one thing to keep in mind. This is a fragile build. You cannot use Shanna the way that she was originally built for, and to be quite frank with you, Cordelia and Hinoka are just better Brave Lance users, and so if you have a Brave Lance user in the sky already, there's no reason to turn Shanna into this whenever there's Hinoka and Cordelia out there. I digress. It still does come up with some great marks. You have a lot of people that you can do well against. Let's go ahead and take a look at the few people that we do draw on defense. And what is terrible here is that all of these guys have I mean, they're all beasts. You know what? If you take a hit from them, more than likely they're all going to have either really high defenses because they're going to be pumping that up, or they're going to have Vantage because they already have distant counter. So even if you manage to really hurt them on retaliation because your special goes off, you're done for if you initiate on them again. So pretty much we're just wiping all the way across the board. But hey, do me a favor, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like Grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you. And until next time.